All right, all right, all right, all right.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
It's like the week is just like blowing by.
Woo. Yes, indeed.
I interrupted you. So
No. You did not. I'm just trying to catch up.
okay,
It's Thursday. It's Oxford Sports Pub and Secret Society here in Altamont Springs, Florida. We are Jay in Washington,
David Washington, Joel Huxley.
and this is You Cannot Make This Shit Up.
No,
Or no, you can't
you
make
can't
this
make
shit
this
up.
shit up.
I'm getting a little bit too formal.
Don't be like you just got back from England or something.
No, yes.
We're going to be doing a lot of talking that you're not going to understand me today, because I'm going to start talking some Boston on you.
Right, you gave me a quick lesson in how to talk Boston, and I did not know that Worcester sauce is pronounced Worcester.
Worcester.
Worcester. I'm still trying to figure it out. But hey, this is You Can't Make This Shit Up. Please like, share, hit the notification button, and even better, join our community and email us, and we'll get this all sorted out. However, email us, comment, let us know what you want to hear, what you want to know more about. There's so much to talk about, and that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to hear some stories that aren't all politics. Sometimes there's some really good stories out there.
There is some good stories
But
out
they all
there
have politics somewhere wrapped in them.
in one way or another. So right now we're going to discuss a young man, young Liam Morrison, I think that's
Yep.
his name is. Yeah.
Yep.
Who
12 years old.
12 years old. He attended, or he does attend,
Millboro.
Middle School.
Yeah, Middleborough.
There you go. And that's in
Massachusetts.
See, we're getting the lesson
Now,
here.
wait. Since it's our show, it's mass of two. It's mass of tax of two shits. Tax of two shits.
Ah.
So we got the high. We had the high
Ooh.
taxes.
Ooh.
Everybody gets the fuck.
Ooh.
No, it's like we can pick on our. I can pick on my own state, right?
Yeah, you can.
This is where I originated.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
There's some things I can say about Chicago.
oh shoot!
Woo.
Listen, I'm
So
not going
it's
to insult.
fair.
I'm not going
It's
to
fair.
insult anybody.
It's fair.
I mean, we have a town called Avon. What do you think the Avon lady? What kids think about the Avon lady?
Yeah.
You guys come out of Avon? No, it doesn't.
Right, that's what I would think. So, young Mr. Morrison, in school in March, attended class wearing a shirt that said, "There are only two genders."
Yeah.
He was called to the principal's office and told, there's some folks who feel unsafe
Unsafe.
because you're wearing that shirt. And they asked for him to remove it. And young Mr. Morrison said no. And so his father was called to school to pick him up. And his father stood by his son and said, I support.
I would have said, if I was on the phone, I'd say, no. I would have said no. I wouldn't even gone down to the school. I would have been like, no.
Mhm.
So get him back in class. Get him in class. Or you're gonna have a lawsuit. It's going to end up in a lawsuit.
It is. And I know that his father did pick him up, and the young man had an opportunity to go to the school board and address this matter with the school board.
That went well, didn't it?
Oh boy. Does it really go well in front of the school board lately?
No.
No, it does
No,
not.
if it's a school board, we could talk all day.
In his argument, in his counter statement, he said that, who are these protected classes, protected people? Aren't I one? I'm in school. I attend class. Sometimes there are some of my peers who disrupt the classroom, and it affects my learning. What about my rights?
How about those kids that are in class that bully you and you feel unsafe because they physically will beat you up?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my shirt's not going to come over and slap you.
No, it's not.
It's not going to, it's going to tell the truth
Mm-hmm.
at birth. There's only two genders. You take the biology class. I would love to take biology today
Mm-hmm.
and go into biology class and say, you know what? Can you please show me where these other genetic,
Right.
these different forms come from? It's all psychological. That's a
Mhm.
whole different. That's a whole different science. It's a
And-
whole different. Yeah.
And I have to agree with you because, I mean, we're older. We come from a different generation. And so this concept of a gender spectrum is completely new. It is alien to me. It is very, and being in the behavioral sciences, and we're both, very educated. It's a concept for me to wrap my brain around. And at the end of the day, I understand it as two genders. I agree with what the young man's t-shirt says. Now, there's going to be repercussions for wearing the t-shirt, and as we discuss off
Why should
camera
there?
about wearing certain,
Look,
things
this is not
on
like
TV.
I'm a NASCAR fan, and we talk about this.
Right,
I'm a
right.
NASCAR fan, and my son said, he kind of want to get into this, right?
Mhm.
Well, Rusty Wallace was driving the number 2 at the time,
Right.
and it was incredible. It was the blue Deuce,
Okay.
Miller Lite. So my son, I didn't think about this, but my son wears the shirt to school that I got him at the Daytona 500.
Right.
He's excited, like Rusty Wallace and all this is. You have to turn that inside out, son, because you can't have alcohol on your shirt.
A promotion for alcohol.
But they just told him to turn it inside out. But I understood that one.
Right.
But if you're telling my son that he can't say something that is absolutely scientifically proven,
Factual.
I mean, I don't see how you feel unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
Educate him. Introduce yourself.
Right.
I would say that was the perfect person because he's open about what he believes. He's the perfect person to sit down at lunch and say, "Hey, I understand that, but have you ever thought about X, Y, and Z?"
Right.
Have the conversation.
And young Morrison stated that no one got out of their chair, walked out of class. There was no protest. There was no negative reaction to his T-shirt. And what was said on the T-shirt, presumably, the students are able to read.
At 12 years old, I hope so.
Let's hope so. I find it disrespectful for the school and the school district to reprimand him for wearing the T-shirt that was not offensive,
This is where,
in my opinion.
if you don't watch the Morning Constitution, you miss out because that was the very first episode of the Bill of Rights. This is like
Right.
freedom of speech. Now, I will complain with anybody who tries to limit speech because I think
Right.
the
Yeah.
perfect thing I just said, the perfect thing would have been to allow him to wear the T-shirt, and those that are really concerned, they would sit down and have a conversation with him.
Exactly.
Listen,
And then-
my homosexual friends have
Mhm.
all kinds of conversations,
Mhm.
and they understand. We have very clear, I understand your attraction. I understand, that that's not what you're not going to get turned on by a woman, right? I've
Right.
asked that question. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, not like even the slightest bit. But we're having a conversation about it, and I learn how to tolerate, or I learn how to interact, because there's some things that would be offensive, and I wouldn't even know it.
And that's part of the issue, that we're not having those conversations anymore. Even at that age, I remember, in middle school having model UN, or student government, and having these conversations in social science or social studies class. Not this particular conversation, but conversations that were issues of the day, not so comfortable. However, at 12 years old, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phones. So a lot of the information was very traditional information that was included in the encyclopedias that were about maybe 5, 10, 15 years old. So our young people are exposed to a lot more. However, we shouldn't move away from those traditional methods of having conversation, getting back to reasonable, age appropriate debate.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of all the different. Okay, school uniforms. I've solved the world's problems.
Bingo.
Thank you very much. Joel has just served the world's problems. Joel, you guys have to wear uniforms now.
Right.
Now, the government will provide you with a pair of slacks and a shirt.
Right.
And any additional will have to come out of your parents' thing.
That does solve the issue.
I don't ever have a problem with my grandchildren.
Right.
When they go to middle school, uniforms. Right. When they go to elementary school, uniforms. Those are those two schools. But in Seminole County, it's different for every school.
Okay, right.
But it's really hard to find black and not blue. I don't know where they decided to get the black shirts from.
Yeah.
It's like, at least get the standard colors. Like I going out and I was like, oh, that's a beautiful. You'll get the blue and the tan pants, and we'll do the blue and the white shirt, and the red shirt, and we'll have a like little combination. You can keep going. Right. The blue shirt. They said, hey, you're not allowed to have the blue shirt.
That's a good point about school uniforms. I wore school uniforms in grade school, junior and high. In high school, we had to wear a collared shirt with a tie and slacks, and so that does remove any commentary that you could wear. Maybe you could wear a pin or something like that, but we weren't that creative. But hey, the school district, Middleborough. Okay,
you got it. You said it right. You can't doubt yourself.
So the Middleborough School District may decide next year everyone is going to wear a standard school uniform.
When they get sued, they're going to try.
This is going to be the mediated
parents
result.
See, the thing in Massachusetts, parents will be as liberal as possible until something this conservative comes up.
Right.
Like, I'm not putting school uniforms on my kid because this guy had a shirt that said, male, there's only two genders. That they will get really feisty, and they'll be on that school board fighting it. It's just they'll be liberal for almost everything,
right?
Until it comes to the kids, and like making them spend money. If you make somebody spend money, yeah, you're gonna buy clothes anyways,
right?
And the clothes you're gonna buy are expensive. So why don't you just get the uniforms, guys?
That's true. That's what my parents did. They're like happy. We went to a Catholic, private grade school, and so having a set of clothes that fit the school uniform code, that was simple for them. That saved them a lot of money.
Joel solved the world's problems, but Joel's anti-uniform. Because I believe in the First Amendment. I believe that everybody should have the right to express themselves. Mm-hmm. I mean, if somebody wears a rainbow shirt, I'm afraid. I'm deathly afraid.
I believe in limits on free speech. I believe that. I mean, really, you can't. I think it's wrong to yell fire in the crowded space.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
That's
know?
why I like you handled that so well. Joel was like, bam.
However, I believe in our, based on the First Amendment, free speech is protected from the tyranny of government,
Yeah.
right? And so, what this school district did, what this school did, was wrong.
So the Constitution doesn't really apply to you until you're 18 years old. And even then, it really doesn't matter because you probably can go in the middle because you got to wait till you're 21 before you can drink or, I mean, listen, we have no standards. We're all over the map.
Right.
And parents, this all, listen, I'm going to say something I would say forever. I don't want to say this. Parents have raised everything to a brand new age.
Mhm.
Like you would get married at a very young age in the past.
Right.
Well, now they don't want you to get married till you're like 18, 19 years old.
They don't want you to work until you're 16 or 18.
Yeah, they don't want you to work.
Damn it, can't work at McDonald's at 10 years.
Only thing is you buy your own restaurant and then you have your kids working in it.
There you go.
And I've seen
Problem
that
solved.
because listen, that's no child labor law there.
Right.
No, I think we've raised the age of everything. And when are we going to stop? Oh, but we are trying to lower the age of retirement. We're trying to lower the age. We're trying to
I thought
bring,
we were raising.
we're trying to bring
age
those.
of-
We're trying to bring those down.
I-
And when we say we can't afford it, we need to bring it up.
right. The Social Security.
It's like, hey, if you keep pushing things up, my friend is taking care of his mother. She's 103 years old,
Wow.
and he's putting his everything into this.
It's a lot of work.
I'm like, yeah, she's gonna eventually be gone. Like, but he's like giving everything,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's a beautiful son, beautiful
That's a
son.
lot of work.
But 103,
Wow. God bless her. Whew. Yeah.
she's strong.
Well, good luck to Liam Morrison in his eventual lawsuit against the Millboro
Middleborough School
District. We are on the side of Liam.
I'm on the side of Liam.
Yeah. He had every right to wear that T-shirt, and that right should not have been infringed upon by the school and the Millboro School District.
And that's why it's on the show, because you can't make this shit up.
You can't.
If you go to biology class, you're going to learn exactly what was on his shirt.
And if there was a civics or history class or social studies class, that you'll learn that government should not infringe on people's right to free speech. Granted, I believe there should be some limits, like you can't scream fire in a crowded room,
Oh yeah.
but that's just common sense things. However, in regards to Liam, he was unjustly treated in this particular matter.
I think so. And I'm not a doubter. I'm not against this new trend. I'm not really up to pronouns.
Right.
I'm not really up to understanding what binary things are. It's just not me. But if you tell me what they are, I'll acknowledge them.
Right.
I acknowledge that they exist, but I also acknowledge that there's a Bible, Quran, and all these other things.
Sure.
Tolerance goes both ways.
Good point.
So those people that couldn't tolerate his shirt, that's a crying shame.
It's unfortunate. But what is fortunate is you can't make this shit up. Joel Hawksley, David Washington, please let everyone know about us. Jay in Washington, we're on the internet, all over the socials. Give us a look.